Hi everyone, so you probably can't see me very well, but this is going to be a very early vlog. So, one more day after this for Vlogmas, because I'm going up to the 25th. So, I've talked a lot about the books that I've read this year and everything, and so I figured that I would maybe tell you who I would recommend them to and such. That is, of course, if I can remember all the books that I read. So, I pretty much finished off, except for a co-written book and short stories. Pretty much every book that John Green has written except The Fault in Our Stars, because I read that a few years ago. So if you want something a little more lighthearted, now of course these are all basically young adults, so like high school and up. If you like something a little bit more lighthearted and simple, I would recommend An Abundance of Catherines. That is one of his more, like I said, lighter ones. Nobody really dies in that one. So if you want something a little bit more happier, but a little, I think he's often referred to as quirky, I would recommend that one. Again, one that somebody doesn't die, but is maybe a little bit more longer and looks into something a little bit more is Paper Towns. So Paper Towns kind of explores the idea of, loving somebody versus like infatuation and what we really know about people versus, the image we kind of project onto them. Still not as serious, though, probably as Looking for Alaska or Turtles All the Way Down. So, Looking for Alaska, I had issues with this one. I really did. It's young adult, but definitely not for young adults. There is sexual references in here and alcohol, cigarettes, that kind of stuff. And, there's the whole talking of life and literature and all that stuff. It's like if it wasn't for certain things, it would have been one of my favorites. Turtles All the Way Down, I would recommend to perhaps somebody dealing with any kind of anxiety, whether it be social, anything else. The character in here, he has more of a there's a name for it. I don't want to call it like a germophobia, but she has an anxiety to do with bacteria and stuff. And, perhaps if you're dealing with a friend that has that, any kind of anxiety and, just a book about friendship or this or that, I would recommend that one. I read Matilda, which is a middle grade book, and that was super cute and super fun, and I recommend that to anyone pretty much of any age who, loves a cute story, loves a person who reads, loves, a person that stands up for people and, kindness and all that. That is just, I really love that one. Dr. Everlasting was also a good one that, is middle grade and kind of makes you question the idea of whether living forever is really worth it. I kind of wish that one wasn't middle grade because, the concept of it and everything, or at least it was a thicker middle grade book. I felt it was a little too short, but I still recommend it as a quick read to get you thinking. I read Legend by Marie Lu. It was an okay dystopian, and I recommend it for anyone who likes a fast-paced read. The characters were decent, but I just don't think it was the best that I had ever read. And let's talk a little Ray here. So, I've read 3 of her books now. If you're into fantasy and historical fiction, I definitely recommend A Great and Terrible Beauty, which is the first in the Gemma Doyle trilogy. And if you like contemporary mixed with a little bit of fantasy or dreamlike kind of stuff, something supernatural or, like I said, fantasy-like, I definitely recommend going bovine. You know, if you like characters that are pushed to be more than what they think they can be, and great side characters and humor, definitely that one. Beauty Queens. If you like a book that makes you think without feeling like you're totally being preached to, if you like an adventure story and a lot of humor, I definitely recommend Beauty Queens. Definitely. My 2 or actually 3 rereads, you know, The Giver, I will always recommend that one to anyone, you know, young adult and up. I know it's supposed to be like middle grade, but I definitely recommend it more as a young adult if you believe in freedom of choice and you appreciate the balance of good and bad and understand that we need both, and you like a character that strives for more, definitely The Giver. Just like The Giver, I reread The Hunger Games for like the 5th time. I would always recommend that to anyone, like I said, young adult and up, because this one gets a lot more violent. But if you like books that talk about issues such as poverty and the value of life and a character that cares about their people and is just human, definitely recommend that one. The Elegance of the Hedgehog is a great adult contemporary, and if you like more dialogue than plot, definitely that one. If you like intelligent characters, definitely that one. So that's a good portion of what I read and what I think is really important, and it's really good books for people to read. So thanks for watching, guys.